Welcome back, weary travelers, to Recorder on the Wall. I'm Jeremy, and I found my voice. I can talk again. Now, as long as I don't do another 2.5 hour podcast.
Well,
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I'm Matthias, and I'm ready for the winter food episode. Wait, what? Long Patrol Book 2? I didn't prepare. Okay. I
I'm
guess
Pete,
we're
and
doing
that totally wasn't my fault.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
I'm Katie, and Matthias, were you into Sister May's stash? How long of a nap did you take?
No. It wasn't like that. You see, I went on some candy chestnuts and played some pebbles and acorns, and I don't know what happened.
I sense a Redwall mystery, choose your own adventure, or like a text adventure game. You wake up in the infirmary with a pounding in your head. Your choices are go east,
north, south, or Dennis.
Get ye flask.
You can't get ye flask.
Well, that's an old joke.
Is that a strong bad email reference?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I love that so much. Anyway, nerding out. Fun times.
Well, yep. This podcast is pretty much how I left it. Okay. Glad to see nothing changed in the last episode.
Were you able to avoid the warm nettle soup, Jeremy?
Yes. In fact, I just had many kinds of tea and soup and things like that. Quick pro tip for everyone. Chicken curry soup is awesome if you have a sore throat.
Oh.
I made it from scratch.
I don't feel like doing anything when I have a sore throat, so good for you.
Well, I wasn't sick. I just blew out my voice.
Well, that is true.
So I learned something. Recording a 2-hour podcast with 2 people is very different from recording a 2-hour podcast with 4 people.
That's probably good for you. Good for your continued well-being of your voice.
Yeah. But yes, it's glad to be back with Recorder on the Wall. Recorder on the Wall. They've been tested, Vermin approved.
Only because Vermin HR says so.
Yep.
Yes. So Matthias, do you have any thoughts on book 1 since you slept through it? Or whatever you did?
Yeah. Basically, I haven't read this book in probably close to a decade, mostly because through most of my teenage years, I was homeschooled. So I spent a lot of my spare time reading. So at any given time, there was a Redwall book being read in my bedroom in some way, shape, or form. I probably went through up until, I'd say probably Triss. I went through the entire series at least a dozen times.
Nice.
So I had to actually put the books down and away, even though I love them so much, because I would open a book, I would look at the chapter art, and I would instantly know everything that happened in the chapter. And it's like, I have to let myself forget. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to enjoy this anymore. So it was really nice getting back into it. And maybe it's just because I've been listening to a lot of history podcasts, but I'm getting very strong World War I vibes from this book.
Yeah.
Mostly the idea of some 18-year-old soldier going off to fight injustice and protect his homeland. I'm from this small little town, and oh no, things are actually terrible out here. I don't realize just what I've gotten myself into.
Yeah.
So this is a poignant look at what war is, especially from that World War I era perspective, without actually getting into the nasty details. And I think it's a pretty good comparison.
We left off last time with Tammo kidnapped by mysterious parties unknown.
As we learn in this and many other books, Mossflower is a terrifying place full of savage, cannibals.
Yes.
It really is.
But before we get to Tamo, we get to our 2 new Rapscowers, our scout officers. Hawkspit and Louswort.
Who were carefully picked among many well-deserved applicants and totally not chosen by random or completely unfit for the job.
Yes, this is a Vermin HR recommended way to do it. Point. You and you. You're officers now.
That's equality. Everybody's eligible.
What am I in gym class again? Okay, you get to be this team. You get to be the other team. Now, pick the first person you want on your team. I don't want to do dodgeball anymore. Tough.
But we're outright told that Hawkspit, they and Louswort both know nothing about scouting.
Louswort doesn't really know much about anything.
Yeah.
No.
That being said, I do love Louswort and darn it, I'm blanking on his name. His buddy.
Sneezewort.
Sneezewort. Yeah, I do love Louswort and Sneezewort. They are very fun.
We do find out that they have total 4 vermin at their command, and they just don't care what their leaders say. They're going to do with their job properly.
Yes.
Except for when they run into trouble, and I love Hawkspit's response. It's like, "Oh, now we're officers, okay."
Yeah.
And what trouble do they run into?
They find the Gossam or Gaussum, whatever.
The inexplicable series of sounds forming.
They find a bunch of shrews.
Yes. Hairy looking mooses.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm sure those boatloads of scruffy-looking mice
Oh yes.
are an easy bunch to take on. Do go ahead and fight them. I'll stand way over here and watch.
Yeah.
Hey, boss, should we help Hawkspit?
No.
He's fine.
No,
Yeah,
I want to see what happens.
Yeah, Louswort's like, "This is the best show ever."
Don't change the channel.
Who's
no
got
audience
popcorn?
participation.
So if you haven't already guessed by what we're saying, Hawkspit decides to charge right up to Logalog, who is not impressed. Let's just put it that way.
Logalog is not amused by Hawkspit.
No. And
I really like the part where it's like, for a small beast, Logalog had very dangerous eyes or something like that. Like, yeah, that pretty much describes shrews.
Yep.
the crazy eyes.
Yep.
And they show in the picture for the chapter, Hawkspit is twice his size and it's holding up like this giant sword, and Logalog's just standing there, his sword pointing the ground, like, "Yeah, bring it."
So basically, Hawkspit's like, well, he tries to threaten him at first. He's like, he wants, "Hey, I want your boats on shore. I want to see what you've got, and do it now." And Logalog's just like, whatever.
It's like, I got 5 minutes to kill. All right. And yeah, Logalog kicks his butt and stabs him a bunch
more
of
than
times.
not.
Yeah.
Logalog just schools him, and it's like, "All right, I'll see you later." And then Hawkspit rushes him, and then he gets spitted like a hog.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Hey, does this look like a rapier to you? Well, yes. Oh, that's what you meant. Oh.
Hawkspit suddenly has this sudden stabbing pain in his stomach.
Wah, wah.
And yeah, you gotta love Logalog. He's not exactly, he might be a little put off by this because no skill, no sense, no honor, and now you got no life. Now think about what you've done.
What I love is we don't get to see it, but like the next chapter, Louswort's explaining what happened, and we find out that like 30 of these guys got wiped out by the Gaussum.
Yes. But it was like,
the Gaussum just killed 30 of them without even trying.
it was like 20 boats though, wasn't it, in their story?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
20 boats of shrews.
You know what? I gotta give Louswort and his trackers credit. They're at least able to keep their story straight.
Yep.
This isn't like with Red Tooth or with Seal of the Fox and whoever the heck survived.
Fangirl.
That where they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, it was this one. No wait, it was that. Oh, and I'm sure it was 5 badgers. Yeah, were you there too?" Whack.
I have to admit, Damok's just like me. He's probably nursing a migraine over this because as he's questioning Lousworth for the 5th time, and he even says he closes his eyes and massages their corners slowly. So he's definitely face palming.
It's like, think happy
Yeah.
thoughts, Damog. Think happy thoughts. It's
Kill
gonna be
your brother.
okay. At least the badger isn't here killing everybody.
Before we go too much farther,
Mhm.
this chapter also has my favorite line, and I think the entire series from a vermin, which is, if brains was bread, you'd have starved to death before you was born. It's like, that perfectly encapsulates the scorn vermin have for each other, that me first attitude, but at the same time, just all that British snark, and it's beautiful.
And Demig's punishment for his scouts, did you think he would... Yeah, you think he just punished the officer because, they're in charge. But no, he punishes all of them, so, camaraderie. Basically says, you're gonna bury all your comrades, then you're gonna dig a pit, bury your bodies, and you're gonna stand in that water straight up to you next, and you don't get to eat or drink until I give the order. And its water is ice cold.
Yep.
Have fun with that.
Oh boy.
Meanwhile, the three traders are like, all right, we got to get the heck out of here.
Yeah, except Lugworm doesn't go far.
No. And he'll be missed by nobody.
I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Yeah.
only plotted and tried to kill his leader that he was supposed to be loyal to, and now tries running away, and, could have taken Damog's side and be like, well, at least I could have been on the side of the crazy guy that's my boss instead of the two guys that I already know are untrustworthy.
Yes, but when Damig was his boss, he was still like having dangerous mood swings and grabbing him and like slamming him up against stuff. Like,
well, if he would have done the proper thing and gone to Vermin HR in the first place, none of this would have happened.
that is true.
It's not like he's still alive. It's not like with Ungat Trun where he had his neck snapped and thrown out a window. He was still alive. He was just moderately choked.
Okay, but is there a record of anyone going to Vermin HR in this series?
No.
Valid point.
They're just kind of hanging out like,
Yeah, Ash
let's
like
play
sitting there like, this is the easiest job ever. Nobody ever comes to me.
Who wants to play Tetris again?
Yeah.
I mean, on that line, I thought I actually had a kind of an idea to make the story change one element of the story last time after we ended. Instead of Brielle and Demig fighting to death and Brielle getting sabotaged, and we had proposed, what options would the one brother have against the other if they didn't want to do this fight. It's either A, get the heck out of Dodge, or B, hope that the brother doesn't kill you, but probably will, because you're still a threat. What if, just for sake of argument, Brielle had chosen to leave on good terms and said, look, the hoard's yours, I'll get out of here and, leave you be, best of luck to you. And then
I guarantee you Damog would have been like, all right, have fun turning around and putting your back to me as I pick up this bow and arrow.
I know. That's probably what Damig done, but what if Brian had written into this where Brielle had gone immediately north and said, hey, Craiga, I want to help you kill my brother.
Do you really think he would have survived long enough to get to that point?
Oh, no, Craiga would have killed him.
The Long Patrol would have been like, it's one of their Abscallions! And Craiga would be like, so you decided to fill him with 100 arrows. Yeah, it was cool.
And then, why not make it 101?
No. It would have been, why didn't you use 200 arrows just to be sure?
Yeah.
Me.
How is he still alive? We managed to hit everything except for vital organs. We figured you would want that honor. Aw, you just would get me for my birthday.
Okay, point withdrawn. So yes, the two former RAP Mark captains who were loyal to Brielle, they're like, hey, we're get the heck out of Dodge. Anybody else want to come? Okay, let's all run away very fast now. And Lugworm, sorry, but you've been, we're firing you. Bye. And Borum swings the bunch changed slavishly, and Lugworm fell lifeless into the stream.
And Louswart's like, dude, what was that about? Punk. Knocked out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually kind of feel bad for Lousewart because he may be stupid, but he's not stupid enough to betray Damog. And it's just like, and they took his trepidation for, I'm going to backstab you.
Well, I do like that when he shows up later. He's like, said at least I was loyal. Stupid, he calls me, but loyal.
Yeah. I was gonna say earlier that Lousewart and Sneezeworth's relationship seems like a slightly less abusive Blackett and Slip.
Possibly. They're both dumb.
They,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they kind of remind me of the two from Salamandastron. The two guys, I can't remember their names now. The ones that show up at Redwall and accidentally kill the recorder.
Oh, Ding-Eye and
Mhm.
Thura.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of those two. Just
Yep.
a little dumber.
But speaking of Krega from earlier, yes, the next part goes to her. And she's working on a new weapon. It's pointy.
Yeah, Craig is just like, she even asked when Deodar the runner shows up, he's like, what do you think of it? Just look at my baby. She's gonna kill so many rapscallions. You're a sharp one, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're just an adorable little murder weapon, aren't you?
Hey, boss, why couldn't you have just picked one weapon? You look like you merged 3.
I got this idea. It's like, why have a pike or an axe or a staff when I can have all those things? Also, I'm going to club things with it too.
Yes. I do like this scene though because she like gives her the hare a fencing lesson and just kind of shows her first and maybe only bit of like having a rapport with the younger hares.
Mm-hmm. It does kind of help foreshadow what's going to happen at the very end of this book. Won't spoil anything, of course, but just show that she does have like a little bit of a softer side to her when she's not, in a blood crazed wrath. So
Yeah. Yes.
So not off.
Like I wrote down, I was like, deep down, Craig is an old softy. But I'm pretty sure if someone told her that, she'd javelin throw them across Mossflower.
Yes.
So yes, Deodar gets to pick her own weapon, and it's kind of cool. I like this scene here too, because it also shows Craig has been very busy at this friggin' forge.
I do like it might have been in book 1, but I just like the comment of like, hey, can you tell whoever's making all that noise to stop it? Well, you can go up and tell the Badger Lady yourself. No, thank you.
Yeah.
We then get kind of this, as Matthias said, like this book feels like, I feel like they treat war differently in this book than in the other ones. Like when they post the list of like who's getting picked for the long patrol, they make a point to mention that one of the hares is not picked because she was too young. And it just makes me think, I bet if Redwall age Matthias was here, they'd forbid him from fighting as well.
Yeah.
Because the way it's described, it sounds like Chiva, or is it pronounced
Chiva,
Chiva?
yeah.
That with Chiva, she's probably about the same age Matthias was in Redwall.
Like 12, 13 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like she's that young, but so just like those little things and the comments of like, oh, look, they're so bright-eyed and ready to go, but they really have no idea what they're in for.
Yep.
So yeah, the World War I comparison earlier was definitely apropos.
Yep.
Because yes, they post a list of who's being granted entrance into Long Patrol, and then there's one hare, as we already mentioned, who's basically said, yeah, she's a little young for it yet, Chiva, and they're like, and it just crushes her because she's sitting there in the corner crying, and even though Colonel Eyebright's like, yeah, we kept you here not because you're too young, because you're good for officer training. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
I like that though. That
Yeah, I
with
do too.
Eyebright and Deodar helping her out and Deodar even be like, no, I'd rather be here learning officer training, and that definitely helps her, like helps perk her up.
It
You can
shows
tell-
that she can still be valuable, even if he wasn't serious and just trying to assuage her feelings of being looked over. He was still able to say to her, you have something you can try and attain while we're not
Mhm.
here. You
Yeah.
can still contribute in some way.
I don't remember if this is going to be the last time we see the mountain for the rest of the book, because as Craig is taking most of the half the hairs onto the field. But yeah, life still goes on, even if half your horses and your frickin' ruler march off. So.
Yep.
Yep. And I like the following ceremony for welcoming the new Long Patrol hares.
Yes.
Silly. It's so silly.
It's so fun. But it's just like, it kind of shows the hares mixing in their funnier, goofier sides with the military nature of the mountain.
And I mean, besides, they're hares, so they have to go over the top, go beyond what you think the sensible person should stop at. And they're just like, no, because if we're going to fight this hard, we need to have fun just as hard. We
Right.
need to mock our own efforts and say, hey, look at us. We're taking this way too seriously.
And
We
that
work
drill
hard, we play hard.
Yes, the drill sergeant you guys will all fear when we're out in the field. Here him is acting almost clownish when he has plans tied around him to mimic what of cut body parts and guts of hares who disobey him. Oh, wow. I mean, yes, it's a very funny scene, and there's even a full song about it on how he'll, gut you if you don't do what he says, but still.
Remember that in the audiobook.
We then find out how we do see eventually how strict and nice he is throughout the next few chapters that he shows up in too.
Mhm.
I like Sergeant Clubbrush.
Yeah, I like how when it was a little skipping ahead a little bit, but they like played a prank on his bedroll, and he like screams at them, and then he kind of settles down like, "Ah, they're good youngins."
Yep.
Also, Correga apparently got more of Russ and Audrey's wood that had just been apparently sitting in the forge, and her new 3-in-1 weapon gets attached to a long staff of this wood.
Yep.
Krieger, smash.
And she isn't nearly as poetic as Grath was about Ungat Tron, but now she gets this whole kind of crazy paragraph of text where she's like, "I'm coming for you."
Yep.
Yeah, that like cool, calm, collected teacher moment she had at the beginning of the chapter, that's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not coming
All
back.
gone.
Yeah. Sleep well, Gormad Tun. Sleep on, Damug, Barrel, and all your rapscallion scum. Oh, she's rhyming too. I am coming. Death is on the wind. On the day when you see my face, you and all your evil followers will sleep the sleep from which there is no awakening. Yeah, I was gonna say insert maniacal laughter here.
And that's where all the
and the-
hares in the officers' mess kind of look up and they can hear her laughing like, "Oh Lord, she's at it again."
Where's the epic thunder crash? There needs to be an epic thunder crash in the background to punctuate the moment.
I just see all the drill sergeants and everything like, okay, this is the most important rule you have to follow when we go into battle. Stay behind Krega. Do not be in front of her. You will most likely be cleaved into 5 pieces.
Do you have your blood rat buddy?
All right, well, that's going to have to pop up when we get to book 3.
Oh yeah.
I lost
Good
my blood
afternoon.
rat
We're gonna have a
buddy.
great battle today.
The buddy system always works. Oh man.
So finally we get back to Tamo, except it's more the party who's missing him. And I love chapter 23's art. Tamo is looking at the people, okay, I won't spoil who captured him yet, and he's got this look on his face, so you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. He does look a little annoyed, like, oh god, I survived an attack from like 50 vermin and this little dummy gets me. Ugh.
But yes. No,
Yeah,
Russa is like, hey, Tamo's been missing too long, so we should probably find him.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, let's go for it. And then they find the painted ones.
Yeah, they're back.
Yep.
We're actually given more information about them this time, and like what they are, because that wasn't given in Manameo, Lord knows. And the Manameo cartoon kind of made them lemurs, but here they're just defined as true rats. Okay, that works.
Yep.
I'm a tad incredulous that the Long Patrol hares, who are known for patrolling, don't have a clue of who/what the painted ones are. From an authorial standpoint, it's a good way to provide exposition, but from a narrative standpoint, it's a joke. It's like they should know everything. It's like if they know the land and it's like, oh, avoid over here. There's that toad marsh. And okay, this cut through goes past some friendly, I don't know, voles or something like that. Wait, what?
Friendly
Never
voles,
mind.
wow.
Wait, what? That's an oxymoron right there.
Forgive me. But you get the idea. It's like they should know what the painted ones are. They should have some conception of, yeah, there's some kind of vermin living in here.
Yeah, I was just about, it was funny too. So I was about to say, like, this might not be their territory, but then I just remembered, oh, wait, Twayblade, Rockjaw, and Torgotch have easily gone through here before because they've gone to Redwall before.
Yep.
So they should totally know about this.
So I will point out that they actually talk now. They have a language that they did not have in Metameo. So maybe they went into seclusion, got their own language, and now they're finally ready to show it off to the world.
Every painted rat got their GED.
Yep. That's my very silly reason why.
Why they talk
which
now.
which makes no sense whatsoever. But that's the best I got.
They've
They
been
took night
upgraded
classes.
from general horror villains to henchmen.
Yeah.
They're not extras anymore.
Well, given the way they talk, I'm actually going to vote that the God Tribe sponsored them in school.
Yep.
Go try my house.
I just had this thought. It's like that they've been upgraded to henchmen. Oh no, they're the Redwall version of minions.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Burn them! Burn them all! I hate those stupid things.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my god.
No. Oh man. And so Russ is like, okay, this is who they are. I have a plan. I'm gonna tell you it in a sentence though, so the readers won't know what this plan is, but you will. So it won't look ridiculous that you know what I'm up to.
Hey, isn't this just a copy from what Jess did in that other book? No, shut up.
No, this is more common calculating. No,
I
in
like
this case,
how-
Russ is actually telling them what she's gonna do. Whereas
how
in
before that-
Matameo, Jess was like, Matthias, give me your sword. I'm going painted one hunting.
I like how before that she says, "Let's retreat, let's get out of here," and then all the hares get super mad, and she's like, "Would just stop being noble for a second."
I did like that little comment of the Long Patrol were not used to retreating.
Yes.
Russ decides to smash things, and she first just starts darting through the trees, and then the first painted one that gets in her way, she clubs him over the head. Finally reaches Tamo and the lead painted one, clubs him, grabs the dirk, frees Tamo, and then shoves the painted one off the tree, and they use him as a landing platform to slam into the ground with.
Yep.
How? And then
Rusa,
he's alive.
Rusa is Jess Squirrel's great granddaughter. Change my mind.
I am. I approve of this. Yes. Oh my God! They not only did he slam into the ground, they landed on him too.
Yeah, he's got some internal bleeding,
Yeah.
at least.
Then they hold him hostage because they realize he's alive, and all the other painted ones are like, "Don't hurt Shavakamamalala." What?
And before you think Jeremy just made that up, no.
Shavakamala.
SHAVV. There's two V's in a row. That already doesn't make sense. AKAMALLA. Like this show, what is it? It sounds like one of the nicknames people give M. Night Shyamalan.
I'm
I like how-
Shavakamala.
Shikaka. Okay, we're just gonna call him Shikaka from the rest.
Well, I got a better name. Pete, do you think Shavakamala was originally named Benjamin a Gun?
Oh, Lord.
I don't know what
Super obscure reference.
That I know because after I got access to Disney Plus, I went and watched Muppet Treasure Island again. If you're wondering, Boom Shakalaka is Piggy's name to the
Boom
natives.
shakalaka.
Yes, thank you. But it's Boom Shakalaka.
Okay. Booyaka. um,
Anyway, they drag off Shikaka and and basically use him as a hostage so they don't attack
yep.
anymore.
They threaten them. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're totally gonna eat him and cook him." And they're like, and Rockjaw's like, "Yep, tree rat." And they're like, "You were joking, right, Rockjaw?" "Yeah, that was it. Joking." Doesn't even say like, "You're gonna share him, right? Go and get thy own tree rat."
Actually,
they finish the chapter with saying, like, "You know we were joking, right? You're not actually gonna eat him." And he just mutters, "Spoil sport."
Yep.
Rockjaw, put down the utensils. The fork too. Down.
Oh God.
do I have to put away this barbecue sauce?
On my shikaka ribs.
Well, they're probably bruised a bit.
That means they're more tender. That wasn't it. They didn't crush him. They tenderized him.
So yes, their medic passed. She's like, "Well, he'll live, but he probably won't be the same." I mean,
I love that. He will never be the same.
Yes.
they apparently Tamo got his legs sprained in this. They fix him up, and then they actually take the time to bind up Shikaka.
Yep. And I love Tamo randomly just like tightens one of the bandages on him so it makes him groan in pain. And Pasca's like, "Oh, you're in pain? Here, let me give you more of this foul-tasting healing stuff."
Hey, Ask? He's not breathing. What were you giving him? Oh, I don't know, fentanyl.
It was like, I don't know. I found it under a rock. I figured it'd be good for healing people. You know, and I'd say that Tamo's a jerk for helping inflict pain on Shavalava Kuriku, but that guy kind of deserves it. God, I wish this character was in more of the book so we could keep coming up with more names for him.
Oh man.
Yeah, let's be honest. Even if she's binding his exterior wounds, he's got internal bleeding and he will die.
I don't think they care.
No, I don't think they do either.
They're like, Pask, just make sure that Chevalema Ding Dong is ready to walk back over to them.
I have to say though, that Tamo's crush on Pask is adorable. I don't normally tend towards shipping characters, but is it really shipping when, spoiler alert, the two of them end up together at the end? Is it really shipping?
It's less awkwardly
I can
explicit.
see what's shipping.
It's less awkwardly explicit than Matthias and Cornflower were back in the day. So.
Yeah. I think shipping is just like enjoying a ship because you could say like Harry Potter, like I ship Ron and Hermione. Just like I prefer the pairing of those two characters, even though spoiler alert for Harry Potter, if you haven't read Harry Potter in the last 20 years, they got together at the end of the book.
Spoilers!
Spoilers! I'm so sorry.
Look, I don't care about shipping as long as you drill enough air holes for whoever you put in a shipping crate. So.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nice pun.
Thank
Don't
you.
do puns very often.
That's adding one to Pete.
Yep.
Oh.
Ding!
Ding.
We're back with try that again. So
that's what Shamalama Hingadong Doodle Kuriku Whatchamacallit was also doing.
Which apparently he hates Corporal Rubadub. With a passion.
I like Corporal Rubadub. I like it too, but it's just like, oh, stop. And then Rubadub gets right in his face and goes, boomity, boomity, boom, and then walks away. I just like to think that Rubadub is just swearing up a storm, and this is like their way of censoring him.
I prefer Hom for censoring, but you know.
Yep, true. Hom and boom. You boomhammer.
Should I be concerned about you, Jeremy?
I'm moving on.
What'd you say, Matthias?
Oh, should I be concerned about you?
No more so than usual.
Oh, so good. Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they decide to go on their way, and I like how Paragore decides to make his speech to the Painted Ones. It's like, look, we're not going to eat him, but that's because he's a coward, and that would make him taste bad.
Yep.
Now, all of
It
you...
was a fantastic speech.
Yeah.
He tells him, you probably should find a different leader who isn't bleeding from orifices.
He does make a good rug, though, and a good landing pad.
Yes, they hand him back, and then they go on their way. And we also get another Long Patrol marching song.
Is this the one about the hair maid, or is that later on?
That hair's on the mountain.
No, the Hairs on the Mountain comes later.
Oh no, but I mean the one about like he comes across a hair maid, or was that in the previous book?
I think this is the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so depressing. It's like, oh, I don't want to. If you're a part of the Long Patrol, I don't want to give my heart to you because you will die. It's like, okay.
And that's when the entire troop looks at the singer and they're like, "Why did you do that? Our job doesn't suck that much, right?"
I bet for them it's like one of those songs where it sounds all happy and fun, but then when you actually think about the lyrics, you go, "Oh, wait a minute."
Yep.
They're like, "Hey, we're only a few days from the Abbey. I think we'll be okay. Hey, why is everyone speeding up?" "Oh, right, we're chasing vermin." "Huh, I forgot about that."
Yep. And they do take a break, and when Tamo and Pask ask about Redwall, Twayblade, Rockjaw, and Torgotch immediately just focus on the food.
Yep.
They're like,
the way
yeah, it was... Oh, go ahead.
The way they're focusing and reminiscing on the food is making me super jealous right now. It's like,
yeah,
they're like, it was the best thing ever. And it's like, oh man, I really wish I could be there right now.
Yep.
Yep.
We also see, again, this is not new, but again, communication between the Abbey and Salamandrestron, because they're out. The older hairs outright said, "Oh yeah, we were sent there previously to carry Lega Kriga's what do you call it?
Congratulations.
Her congratulations on Tansy's 1-score season jubilee." So, and then we were there for the feast, and I couldn't move for 3 days.
Food coma. What's that? I didn't sleep a wink. Just eating all food. My weight doubled.
Yeah, food coma assumes you stop eating at some point.
Yes.
But the chapter ends with, "Hey guys, we need to go kill something." Someone's shouting war cries.
Yep. And yeah, they charge and find a big battle going on, and the vermin get hit by the smaller group and are like, "Oh shoot, it's the Long Patrol, run for it."
Yep.
Let's run right in that direction towards that swamp. It'll be fine.
I like the little note here where, as they're all running, it says that Tamo is feeling some fatigue, but he's doing his best to ignore it and just keep pace with the Long Patrol. Because he's like, no, I'm running with them now. I can't show weakness.
And then he pays for it later, but...
Yeah. This is true.
Before we go too much farther, the chapter art for chapter 25 is horrifying.
Oh, is that the one with the arrow in his paw?
Oh, no.
No, it's the rat coming out of the swamp.
Oh, right. Oh, right. The
Nice.
arrow in his paw is coming up. I forgot about that. Okay, yeah. Oh, God. These... Ugh. Well, you know, if we didn't immediately find out afterwards what they just did, you know what, I would probably feel more sorry for them. But as it stands, good riddance.
Yeah, pretty much
and
going after an old lady and a baby.
Yep.
Yeah. And it seems initially like Tamo was over his discomfort about killing villains and vermin, but then immediately afterwards, like 3-4 paragraphs later, nope, not so much. He's down for the count again. It's like, dude, please.
Well, wasn't that just because he saw the ferret with the stick?
I think so. Like, that was what shocked him.
Yeah.
I do have to wonder, do you think this is the same swamp that Dandon fell in Mariel Redwall?
I don't know. My geography sucks, so I have no idea.
Even
I
though there's
don't have an
plenty
opinion
more
on
of these quicksand swamps in Mossflower.
Yes.
I think they're like a sentient organism, and they just slowly travel across the countryside, eating up travelers wherever they go.
Oh, so it's like the oil slick monster from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
We don't
Yes,
talk about that
except-
episode.
What, don't you like Tasha Yar?
Who? I don't like that whole first season's kind of a blur because it's bad.
That it has its moments,
Yeah.
but yeah. Well,
Have you
also
heard before-
this coming from the guy that was like, "No, Encounter at Farpoint isn't as bad as you say it is, Jeremy. It can't be." We watch it. You were right. This episode sucks. That's literally how that went.
Yeah, I know. But so as the Long Patrol group and Tammo chase these guys down, and hey, where's Russa? Oh, I don't know. They
She's dead tired.
Aw.
they chase these vermin off, and they run off, and they keep pursuit. And the Hares are like, "Hey, everybody, stop!" Oh, okay. Hey, look. Oh, they fell into the swamp. Should we try and help them? No, there's something that we can do. Are you sure?
There's like a rope over there that we can use to help them out. Nah, it's too far away. All right.
Help
Well,
us! Help us! No, I don't. Does anyone hear that? I don't hear that.
yeah.
Artax!
Oh, dark.
Darkest joke. Darkest joke.
One ferret escapes, and he has a certain stick that Tammo notices.
Mm-hmm. It's Ringcool the ferret.
Yes. And I really like how Pask is kind of like supports him and helps him kind of like they kind of stay behind and she helps him kind of recover from his shock and helps him get back. I really like her as a character. Like she's not as, what would you call it, exuberant as a lot of the Hares, but she just seems like a really gentle, calming personality.
Definitely.
That seems to be a defining trait in Hares. Like, you have these super bombastic ones, then you have the super serious ones, and then you have the ones that are just like, I'm your best friend. I'm not like the other two kinds, but I'm here for you, and nothing can change that.
I mean,
Yeah.
arguably, we owe it. I think all of us measure most of the Hares we find against Basil, who was the prototype. And as fun as Basil is, and he will never not be fun. Yeah, by the time we get to this book, we are where we have a majority Hare presence. It's good to see this character diversity.
Well, we got. I'd like to think we got a pretty decent diversity with the Hares in Lord Brocktree.
Oh yeah,
And,
absolutely.
And that one also, we got to see Dottie go from the wild, like goofy hare towards a more serious one by the end of the book too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and granted, Lord Brocktree came out after this book, but I think this was like a good. That one and this one are both good ones for seeing like a different variety of the Hare characters, and they even acknowledge it in universe a lot. Like in Mariel of Redwall, I can't remember which character it was. It might have been Saxtus, who says like, "Oh, they seem to get goofier the closer, the more they fight, or they don't really seem to take it seriously." And then at the end, they're like, "I was totally wrong about them."
Yep, that was sexist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly like if the Hares are taking it seriously, yeah, you're in for a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they've dropped their joking exterior, yeah, bad stuff's about to go down.
And I like characters like that in fiction too, where you have the jokey character or characters where they're able to kind of bring the mood up and make light of situations, but then if they're getting serious, that means the story's definitely going to a darker area.
So yes, if it hasn't already been obvious, aside from all those vermin drowning in the swamp, ugh, bad way to die. One ferret gets away and he's holding Russ's stick, and Tam was just like, "Oh, that's bad."
Yep.
She wouldn't have given that up easily.
Nope. And yeah, so they get back, and all Tammo can do is ask Paragord. Russa, and he just indicates inside the cave that they were at. And
Yeah. We get a pretty darker scene where Lieutenant Morio survived, but he's got pretty bad face wounds
Mhm.
that are at least being treated, and he's holding a badger kid.
I thought Rockjaw was.
Oh,
Yeah, I will say Rockjaw being the nursemaid to the little badger is adorable.
It is.
It is.
and well, no, it says here I'm on page
Oh, okay.
152 where at least Lieutenant Morio has him at first.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'm thinking
yeah.
after.
Rockjaw has him later when they get into the abyss.
Yep.
Spoilers.
Spoilers: the badger baby doesn't die.
No. And meanwhile, Russa she's been fatally wounded.
Yeah, she took 2 arrows to the back and a spear through the stomach to take her down.
Yep.
And yeah, she doesn't seem too bothered by it, but Tamo is just crushed. Poor guy.
Yeah. And we did kind of get shades of this earlier, where she even says to Tamo when she knows they're going to get besieged by tons of vermin, she's like, I don't mind, but I don't want to see you have to deal with this. And then later on, when Paragord rescues them, she even says, like, if it was my time up, fine, but I didn't want him to go out with me.
Yeah.
And it's really super sad because she manages to hold on long enough to give a farewell speech. And as cliche as that might happen to be, it gives closure to a character that I think a lot of people will have grown attached to.
Yeah.
In fact, if you didn't get attached to Russa as a character, you're a monster.
Yeah.
Right. And Jakes doesn't always do this. Like, he doesn't always give the closure, especially in Salamandastron, where Mara does not get to say goodbye to Earthstripe, like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
Or even Matthias, all the way back in the original with Metalusa, when he died, he's like, he wakes up, hey, where's my best friend? Why do you guys look sad?
Or Rose.
There's that too.
Yep. Yeah, I like her words, like her parting words too, because it shows that she's gotten to know Tamo well, and says to him, like, look, I don't doubt that you're brave and will make an amazing member of the Long Patrol, but you don't have to be a warrior if you don't want to. I don't see that killer instinct in your eyes that I see in the others.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of Tamo that kind of reminds me of Brome, where Brome was very brave, but he was not a warrior.
Yeah.
And Tamo is kind of like if Brome decided to keep trying to be a warrior, and we can see he's good at it, but obviously there's some part of him that just isn't a killer.
Mm-hmm.
As the Harris discuss this scenario as Tamo gets his final moments, they're like, hey, we missed one at Ferret. You don't think he's going to be a threat to Redwall? And they're like, nah. Skipper and those otters tend to be around. Yeah, they'll get him.
Yeah,
Or they'll take care.
I love how they specifically say, like, yeah, if he runs into any of those big otters that usually hang around there, he'll be done for.
Yeah.
Yeah. No comment on the fact that, yeah, they have a capable Abbey warrior. No, it's, yeah, I'm sure if a bunch of the otters are around, they'll take care of it.
That's because the warrior is so forgettable that everyone literally forgets he's there.
Yeah. Marvin does nothing in this book, does he?
He
Not
has
so
no
far.
personality.
Yeah. He climbs up
which
the dead tree in book 1, and that's about all he does.
That's being generous. I mean, when was it? It was when we were recording for Pearls. I accidentally jumped and was like, wait, he got name dropped in Marl Fox, and that was it. And you were like, no, he shows up in the next book. And I was like, wait, what? Because it's been 10 years. It shows you how forgettable it is. It's like, if I can't remember that he was in there, it's not good.
And you think if a character, like, if he has to live up to the expectations set by the last 3 Abbey warriors, you'd think he'd stand out a little bit more, just from a character perspective, being like, okay, the last 3 Abbey warriors were Matthias, Matameo, and Martin II. I really need to do something to stand out. Meanwhile, like 1 year later, who was the last Abbey warrior again? I don't know, some Arrow Marvin. I don't know what his name was.
Yeah, and I genuinely don't understand this because Tansy and Cracklin you can definitely tell they're the same characters from the previous book, just older. Like, they're still playful. They still have that sense of fun and that sense of like no nonsense. They can be serious, but they can also be playful, and they just filled out like with their personalities. And there's none of that for Arvin, so I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the idea of a contrast between, goofy baby Arvin from the previous book and like a more serious, straight-laced one, but he barely does anything. He barely says anything. Heck, I mean, spoilers for a few chapters later, when Martin chooses someone to speak through, it's not the Abbey Warrior.
No, and there's like no spark of playfulness in him at all. Like, there's just no trace of the playful Arvin. It's
He's
like
Ben Stein, like I said.
Win Arvin's money.
So we finally get Tim, who comes out of the cave, and he's like, "Yeah, she just died."
Yeah.
And everyone, you can tell he's trying to be stoic about it, but he still can't hold back his tears.
Yeah.
And they seal the cave, and they put Russa in. We forgot to mention that Grandma Badger, who had been there, because these vermin weren't just attacking a random baby. There was a Grandma Badger protecting this baby, and that's when Mario and Russ had rushed in and tried to defend him, and Russ had taken her lethal wound, and then the rest caught up.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Orphan
bury
count +1.
They bury Russ and Dondre and the old Grandma Badger together in this cave, and they put a message into the sandstone of the cave.
I kind of feel like Earthstripe's spirit should be looking down and be like, make sure he doesn't have a twin brother. We don't need to go through that again.
What was that, brother? That's perfect.
Yep. So then in chapter 26, we go back to Redwall. I honestly don't remember what happens immediately. My very first note for chapter 26 is just, Pellet's a jerk. So Pellet is the Fleet Scud of this book.
That's what I said last week.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Yeah, Pellet sucks.
Yep, and it's Pellet and a sturdy squirrel called Buddy. Oh, kid, I'm so sorry.
I know. I thought of that too. I was like, oh, okay. It's not only vermin that have the unfortunate names.
Yeah.
Oh, I always read it as Booty. Wait,
We'll go with that.
That doesn't
I
make
don't
it
know
much
that that's
better,
worse,
does it?
actually.
It's Buddy because it's a double T, so that means it's a short.
Okay.
Let's solve this and call him Butte. So, and basically,
I like him though.
Oh, I do too.
He's nice,
He's
yeah.
a great character with an unfortunate name.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess it's better than Floater. I mean,
And Tansy solves a disagreement between these two where Pellet is acting like a jerk.
Yep. And I like this too because we get to see that, you mentioned before, Tansy still has that playfulness, but she helps show why she's a good abbess, that she walks in and immediately sorts things out and gets things back on track.
Yep, with very little like ill will from all the creatures. She's like, well, Pellet can change to this job because he likes Viola anyway, and he can just stay in the infirmary, and it's an easy job, so he's not in the way in the kitchen anymore.
Yep. I like actually, the way she puts it, he's always hanging out there anyway, so might as well.
Yeah.
In other words, he not only is he a jerk, he stinks at his job because he's never there in the first place.
She also calls him fat and old.
Yeah, there's that too.
Hey, if the shoe fits.
The line is, the trouble with Pellet is that he's fat, getting on in seasons, and of course, he's a dormouse.
Dormice are the voles of mice.
Oh, there was Dumble. Dumble was a good dormouse.
Okay, this is true. Dumble was awesome.
How do we know that he's actually a dormouse and not a vole in a dormouse costume?
He's like, well, it worked for Vitch, pretending to be a mouse, so. Pellet's actually Vitch's descendant.
Oh, no.
That's not fair.
There is a dormouse abbot. Eventually.
Which one?
Doomwhite.
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
Which, you probably blocked out most of Doomwhite because you didn't like
Well,
it.
I also only, I that's part of it, but I also only read it once so far. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember. And I think that was like 4 years ago. And I don't remember a lot of things that I did yesterday, so.
Well, fair point.
Who am I? Why am I here? Who are you people?
Calm down. You're on the Recorder on the Wall podcast. We review Redwall books.
I'm on a wall? Why am I up here? How do I get down?
There's stairs to the right.
What's a stair?
Oh no.
It's the look I'm giving you right now.
So, moving on, Tansy actually goes into the kitchen because apparently one of the disagreements that's going on is that where Oroka the owl is going to host her nest.
Yep.
So, apparently she just, hey, that apple storage cupboard looks great. I'm going to take it.
That's mine now.
This is mine now.
And I like how Tansy even is apologetic to her. It's like, nope, this is yours. Enjoy here. Pellet, drill some holes in here. Do something useful for a change.
Yeah.
Hey!
Am I wrong? No. And after they all go out, they're all talking, and then another little owl shows up and goes, I'm looking for Oroka, last seen on a nest, perched on a nest containing 3 eggs.
Oh, she's inside.
Yep. Thank you very much. And then just like Tansy and Crackling start laughing.
Yep.
And Diggum looks at him like, just a guy looking for his wife and kids. I don't understand what's so funny about it. And then we see troubles brewing underneath Redwall. It's speaking of grandkids, it's Stormfinn's great grandkid.
God. We finally get an explanation of what's actually causing the south wall to sink. Apparently, basically a sinkhole has opened up where the south wall's foundations are. So,
if you look at the chapter art for 26, that big tunnel just going down, it looks a lot like the interior of a tower. And I know, since we already mentioned previously that it's Kotir, the leftovers, this is probably either a tower that sunk or the base part of a tower and the wood inside has rotted, leaving just a smooth stone shaft going down.
And I mean, and of course they do the smart thing and rope it off and make sure there's no way any silly demons can't get close enough to fall in, right?
I'm sure they have plenty of warnings and barriers around it. Like, no, it's just an open hole in the middle of the place. They don't
Not
have
OSHA
caution tape at
compliant.
Redwall.
No, it is not OSHA compliant. And as Jeremy mentioned, there is something down there.
Yep.
Yes. I will be right back.
Okay.
Formal is given a clue by one of his moles, Bunto, and he's like, you never told I about no carving on walls. Probably because you never asked I, sir. And it's like, there's mole logic for you. And
It's just like, that's a good point. That's a valid point.
And it never ceases to amuse me. The moles are always like, well, you never asked. It's the most obvious thing in the world. I should have asked if you found any carvings on stones or some equivalent thing. It's like, excuse me, how is any of this rational?
I love how the moles never disagree with each other. They're always like, the minute like something like this pops up, they're like, oh, no, wait, you're right. I should have asked you about something I had no idea about. Never mind. Let's just move on. We're all jolly good friends. Like I don't think we ever see moles argue with each other.
But we never see a mole abbot or abbess in this entire franchise.
Oh.
Maybe they don't want the job. They'd rather just, sit in the cellars and, brew ale or dig tunnels.
I could just see like a mole abbot, people come to them for advice and their response is like, well, why didn't you think of that before? But then the next chapter, the owl chicks are born.
That was quick.
Yep. And they're immediately adorable.
I mean, we rarely see newborns in this franchise. It's not uncommon. Well, good. Not common, but it does happen. Let me put it that way. But but even more rarely do we see very young birds. So, yeah. And the Abbey, rather than, hey, aren't we worrying about that southern wall collapse and the big sinkhole? Oh, we can wait.
Babies.
We got a feast to celebrate for babies.
Yep.
Feast,
Like-
feast, feast, feast.
Let's stop working for a day and just have food. And everyone's like, okay, that sounds good. I could see no problem with that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm ringing the bells. This is great. What's that on the horizon? Hares? No. No feast here. Not a crumb to be had. Nope, nothing. Zilch,
I lo-
nada. Nope, no food.
I love
Rebel
Skipper's.
Loki.
I love Skipper's immediate reaction to the hares, and he goes, "Lock up the fiddles."
I found the unmute button.
Yay.
Yeah,
was like, I'm talking and no one's listening to me.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's fine. It was my own fault.
But yeah, Skipper sees hares, and yes, the first reaction is, lock up the fiddles! Oh, God! There's more than one! Ah!
Canceling the feast.
And meanwhile, that mystery ferret who had escaped, he kind of found Redwall. And those big burly otters did not find him. Uh-oh.
Nor did what's his name, the Abbey Warrior.
Who?
Yeah,
I mean, that guy that does nothing. Yep.
that one guy.
What
Heck,
guy?
he seems to be more afraid of the bell ringer than anything else.
Yep.
He's like, I hope that guy ringing the bell didn't see me, and this isn't the alarm for a bunch of otters and hares to come kill me.
Oh, hi, otters and hares. What? Oh. No,
Oh,
they
hi,
don't
Rat
do-
Mark.
Yeah. I would also like to point out the most memorable squirrels in this book are not Arvin.
No. Wow, I know we're trashing on Arvin a lot here. Come on, guys.
It's actually, we have a lot more to say about Arvin than the book does.
Yeah.
See, Rico gets away, and he can totally see that Red Bull South wall is vulnerable.
The wall is sinking. The wall is sinking. The sky is falling.
Yes, the hares get in, and they're like, "Oh, goody! Yeah, we're having a feast here." And you hear like a shaft of light comes down through the clouds on the hares, and you just hear angels sing.
Yeah.
Hear stomachs rumble.
Yes. Even Rockjaw's just like, "Abby Vittles, huh? Lead me."
That being said, in the next chapter, I think it's Buddy is showing Tamo, Pask, and Midge how to cook, and all three of them show way more self-control in the kitchens than Clucky did in the last book.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tamo tries to sneak one little taste, and that's it. Otherwise, they perfectly work on the food with no problems.
Yeah, well-behaved hares.
Yep.
Now, if it was
And
Fleet's
now
gut,
Oh God, if it's
Ooh.
Fleet Scott, they'd leave the room for half a second, come back, and he'd be like, everything that would be gone. He'd be like, I have a stomach ache.
I was saying,
Help
or if
me.
it was Tarquin who'd already be day drinking.
Yep.
He's singing about Rosie.
No, I'm just referring to the bellmaker after he's married and allows the Abby to take care of his kids for him.
God.
yep.
Like, Tarquin, what about your kids? Who?
Oh yeah.
I have kids.
Yeah, isn't it like he doesn't remember their names too at one point?
Oh yeah, there was
You.
like you
Me.
there. Look at me.
To be fair, that was the book with the unnamed mouse babe, so I mean
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But chapter 28 begins with an absolutely adorable picture of Russ and O.
Yes.
cute now.
Yes.
me.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
him in basically a big pillow, and yes, he looks very cute.
The this whole scene playing out with Tamo, Pask, and Midge getting cooking lessons.
Mhm.
I want to see an episode of the Great Mossflower Baking Show now.
Yeah.
The Red Wall Gourmet.
Yes.
Bear Paw Contessa.
There is a scene in the crack fic that I submitted for the fanfic a couple of years ago where some of the Redwallers are cooking, and Celandine actually gets someone to cook for her, and then she's like, "I made a pie," and the judge is like, "What kind of pie is it?" She's like, "A pie with fruit." because she has no idea what it is because she like sweet talked a male squirrel into cooking for her.
Hey, this is a quiche. They do show Tansy the young badger babe who I totally didn't give his name away already. Yeah, I did.
That's fine.
And I like
yes.
how Rockjaw is the one that names him.
Yep. He's also the one carrying him. So.
Yep. I don't know, I just get like this mental image when they're like, there's food there and you'll have people to take care of the baby, and he's like throws the baby in the air and runs for the food.
But yeah, Tansy takes a little kid on. She's like, "Aw, ain't he cute?" And we actually get him. He can say one word. He's asking for his nanny, which probably means the grandma he's with. Oh.
Yep.
And we don't know who his parents are.
Another
Orphans.
Little orphan Rusano.
Yes. And yeah, if it isn't already obvious, they named the kid after Ressa, which is nice of them.
Yeah. And in the audiobook, it's Rossano with the emphasis on the second syllable.
Huh.
Yeah.
So there goes the last 20 years of me reading this books.
I can't remember how I'm pronouncing it in my head. I think it was called like Rusano or, yeah, I think it was like Rusano. I always pronounced it Rusa. At first I was pronouncing it Naudry, and then when I reread the book, I was like, oh, no, Dre.
No, Dre.
No, duh.
Rusano, then. Okay.
It's a very wise choice. I'm not sure why I used that word.
I don't know.
So
that's all right. We already met him in Lord Brocktree anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also Major Perigold, again the commander of his Long Patrol detachment. He's like, "Oh yeah, your south wall. We should probably do something about that. So rather than go to Salamandastron and give up all this lovely food, we're totally gonna help you guys rebuild it, right, guys? Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah, good idea."
So yeah, of course, yeah, they're gonna stay to help make sure the place stays safe, and not just for the lovely food.
Yep, totally not. Well, he does flat out say like we'll stay here to keep you protected.
Yeah, I mean it's a good plan.
Yeah,
and the food doesn't hurt either.
This is true. It's like, oh, how can we ever repay you? I could think of a few ways.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the villains in the next chapter.
Oh yeah.
We get the happy reunion of I've just like tried to think of all the different all the different goofy pairs of people, and I was like, yay, Salt and Pepor! I mean Harry and Lloyd! I mean Thorn and Zorn! I mean Sneezewort and Lousewort are reunited!
Yeah.
If anyone knows the first pair of that, you're cool. If anyone knows where Salt and Pepor come from, I'm happy.
I still like my original of Laurel and Hardy.
Watching Sneezewort and Lousewort reconcile is kind of like watching a couple of third graders making up after one stole the other's Pokemon cards.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, Lousewort's like, can I sit here and eat with you? I got a fish. I stepped on it.
Yeah.
Sure. Hey, I thought you were an officer. No, I got demoted.
Yep. On account of stupid.
Oh. Well, all right then. So that fish, you can have the best parts, the head and the tail. I'll just take that meaty center.
And Lousewort's like, duh, okay.
Yep.
Oh boy, they're dumb.
Oh.
He's an idiot.
But they're friends again.
Yeah.
Yay.
I do like these two. And then, meanwhile, another pair that's not as lucky. Borum and Vendace are like, hey, look, it's those shrews that you guys got your butts kicked by. Huh. Let's try and attack them even though we have no weapons.
Wait, why would we do that?
Because we're bigger and stronger and we can take them.
Yep.
Sure.
They totally won't see us sneaking up on them for like the next 10 minutes.
Everyone underestimates the shrews and it never goes well.
Nope. And I like the fact that the Gaussum don't just attack. Like they actually show that they can be calculating too, where this Log-a-Log has a cool head on his shoulders where he's like, there's like 50 of them. All right, just everyone get ready. Don't let them know that We see them get the kids to a safe place. All right. And then when they get really close and get in the water where they have no way of avoiding anything, we're going to fill them with arrows like pincushions.
Sounds like fun.
Yep.
Yep.
And
I like
yeah,
this
and,
log-a-log.
yep. And Borum and Vendus, like by the time they get to the water, at least one of them's like, okay, they have to have seen us by now. There's no way they're this stupid.
They probably are.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then they're like, don't worry, we'll charge them. And I guarantee you that that Damog won't have sent a bunch of people to track us down. And oh God, we're being besieged on 3 sides.
Yep.
Yeah, that
And even
Mexican
Logalong's like, hey guys, this ain't our fun anymore.
Yep.
All right. This is fun to watch, I guess. Oh, that guy got his head chopped off. That's not good. Oh, that guy got drowned. Man, this is not interesting from watching from the third person here. And but yeah, when Scalp tries to be cool, he goes, "You get off lightly this time, but you killed some rapscallions. We'll totally get you next time." And oh my God, there's an arrow growing out of my hand.
Oh, where did that come from?
That worked well.
Yeah, Logalog just picks up a bow and arrow and shoots him right in the paw and just goes, "Yep, I'll kill more rapscallions if you don't beat it right now."
Yep.
Even cooler, he's like, next time, I won't be aiming for your paw.
Yep. And Scallop, as he's getting led away, he's like, "No, don't let them see weakness. It'll be fine." Meanwhile, they get back to camp. My paw!
Anyone got any ice? Or some Bactine?
Some Bactine.
And then Swart's just watching heckling like, I got my entire paw smashed. What are you complaining about?
Ugh, these kids today, they don't know what real pain is.
Shut up, Dad.
Can it, Fitch? I mean, Klitch.
I'm not Fitch or Klitch. I'm Vale. Whatever, I don't care. All 3 of you suck.
And then Bluefin just bonks each of them on the head with like a rolling pin or something.
Oh, Mom! You made me look lame in front of my friends.
Klitch, Vale, and Vitch are all like comparing the ways they died. Vitch is like, "Yeah, I got hit in the head by a parabolus. My skull was shattered." Ugh. Vale, how'd you die? "Well, my dad threw a javelin through me as I tried to protect the closest thing to a mom I ever had. And but I'm totally still an evil guy." I'm like, "Klitch, how did you die?" I drank some water that I forgot we poisoned."
Dude.
Finally back with the Hares, because they left Salamandastron. And these youngins finally realize, oh, this isn't an adventure you were being forced to march.
Yep. And Troutbags is not the brightest bulb in the bunch here.
Aw, Troutbags.
He has to be based on somebody that Brian knew or heard about secondhand.
Yeah.
The character is simply too fleshed out to be anything less than a straight caricature. Of course, if he is entirely made up, that would show just how well Brian can write. But at the same time, I think this has to be based on somebody.
Yep. And he does. I think he's a little over the top at points of how oblivious he is to what's going on, but it does help show the complete and utter inexperience of some of these new Long Patrol recruits.
Yeah.
Yep, they're just kids.
Yeah. And Clubbrush and it's Eyebright with him, right? Or is it?
No, it's I think Eyebright's back at the mountain, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Colonel Eyebright's running the mountain.
So who's with him again? I know I wrote it down.
Oh man.
Elbrig. Here we go.
Yeah. There you go.
Like Elbrig and Clubbrush keep talking to each other like, all right, we really have to work overtime to make sure that these kids are ready and pray that most of them survive.
Yep. Which that'd be such a hard job. I think they've already accepted that some of them are going to die.
Mm-hmm. And we see that Clubbrush talks a big game, and he does punish Troutbags because, well, he deserves it. But even after everyone plays like a little trick on him and everything, you know, he's a softie. He's like, "Oh, I'll get you, kids. Oh, I hope most of you survive."
Yeah.
And I like Shangle Wide Pad too, where Troutbags has to do like the second guard so he won't get any sleep. And Shango's like, no, you know what? You take the first one. I'll take the second one so you can get a good night's sleep. You need it.
Yep.
So you can see the higher ups and more experienced hairs doing their best to help out the recruits.
Yeah, and I really like that.
You can also see while they usually don't go out on patrols on this scale, there is a military efficiency to what they're doing.
Yep.
And again, this could only be based on accounts Brian heard of World War I. You know, young, bright lads going off to war, dreaming of honor and glory, and then brought crashing down immediately because of trenches and warnings of gas attacks. And it's like, grim stuff. And yeah, these are child-friendly books, but the situations that they were based on are definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes those feelings of, yeah, I'm going to go out and conquer the world, and then realizing that the world isn't as easily conquered as you first thought.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah, this is treating war and the idea of going off to war way differently than a lot of the other books. Like in Mossflower, it was freedom fighters, fighting for their homes. In Redwall, it was, hey, we need to defend our home here, so it's fine that we have to fight. We have to fight back, but in the end, it's happy, like we're okay. In this one, it's, hey, there's this massive band of vermin that we have to track down, or else they'll cause death and destruction among everything. And the only people we have are a few, experienced soldiers, but a bunch of young recruits that have no idea what they're actually getting themselves into.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously don't want to jump ahead, but I think the ending to this book also helps illustrate that too.
Meanwhile, the ferret Wrinkle, who is still alive.
He finds his friends, and oh god, he's being choked.
I'll stop, guys. It's me. Oh god,
why are bad?
Sorry about that. Where the hell have you been?
Sorry about that. I was playing Hitman too much, and I thought this would be kind of cool.
Well, I'm okay, but I got news for Gormed Trun, right? Oh, he's dead.
Gormad's dead. Oh, what about Byrol? Yeah, he's dead too.
Damn it.
Okay, then take me to Tamma Gorfang.
It's like, I got some really cool information for him.
Yeah, and I gotta think, like, Wrinkles at one point, man, it's Damek who took over? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yes. Meanwhile, back at the Abbey, more feasting, because that's all we ever do.
Food. I
The
love
chapter art makes me hungry.
Yes.
The chapter makes me hungry.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Food!
I like the line where the Dibbin is drinking the strawberry fizz. Drink any more of that strawberry fizz and you'll go bang. Did me go bang?
Yep.
So cute. And this is when they do the naming ceremony for Rosano. And they name him, and then the hares do their, pledge their loyalty to him by holding their weapons above him and shouting their battle cries. And Rosano is just lying there all calm.
He's like,
whatever.
Those are fun.
Yep.
Blades.
Give. Well, I don't know if he'll ever use a blade, but we'll find out in a future book. Hey, we all know he lives. So.
Yep. And we then get a fun little moment of the Dibbins playing hide and go seek, and I love the line, "I don't know any more numbers, so I'm coming to find you."
Yeah.
The
Dibbins get some...
counting.
Huh?
The counting. 1, 3, 2 and a bit, 4, 60, 8, 3 again, and a 579.
Yep.
4, 2, and a 12. Don't know any more numbers. I'm coming to find yous all now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where the Long Patrol hares look at each other like, they do teach these kids here, right? I mean, Salamandristron at least gives us basic reading and writing.
That definitely, though, that's realistic. My mom has cassette tapes of me counting, and I would always skip the number 10. Like, I'd be like 7, 8, 9, 11. She's like, what about 10? Oh yeah, 10, 11.
Yeah, the Dibbins steal the show in this chapter.
Yeah, but we also get
They're
Hares
just-
on the Mountain, which is a full-page song.
Yeah. I also like
And we
the
also-
little the birthing song that what's her name, Cracklin sings. It's very pretty.
Basically, it's
We also get
Go ahead.
we also get a song on October Ale, which I have to, side note, point out, time is measured in seasons, not months.
Yeah.
So where in the name of fur and feathers did the October in October Ale come from?
A wizard did it.
From the original Redwall, and it was just so catchy that Jakes couldn't bear to part with it.
He's like, fine, I won't mention that Clooney's Portuguese. I won't mention horses. I won't mention dogs anymore. But let me keep my October Ale.
Yeah.
We get our recipe for October Ale too. It's beer. I mean, that's what it is. It's hops and yeast and barley fine.
Quicker, what comes in bottles and cans? October Ale.
It's made from hops and yeast and barley, which is the core elements of any beer. And they put dandelion, honey, elderflower, and wild oat. So, and then it has to brew for 10 seasons. Good Lord.
I was like, that is not the recipe they put in the Redwall cookbook. I gotta tell you that.
In 10 years, you can drink this.
Yeah.
Ginger ale and grape juice. No, I don't think that's the same recipe at all.
Is that what it is? Oh my.
It is. Yeah, I did try it once and it was way too sweet for me. I was like, I should have actually used actual beer because this is just like, it's like that tongue melting punch that they serve at parties sometimes, like that makes your entire mouth hurt. It's like, I just drank like sugar.
Or it's like flavored sugar water.
Allegedly, from what I hear, the Harry Potter worlds in Florida and California, their butter beer is butter, like more like sugar water.
See, I liked their butter beer.
Oh.
But it was you could definitely taste the butter. I had the frozen kind though, and it was like, I don't know, it was delicious. Probably 10,000 calories, but it was.
Woo! Sorry.
Anyway, tangent.
Was it deep fried though? That's the important thing.
It was not deep fried. I'm sure people have tried that. They can deep fry anything now.
Oh yeah. At the San Diego Fair that comes here once a year, they have a specific place there that fries different kinds of food. Fried pizza, fried nachos. I think once somebody dared them to fry like a ping pong ball.
I gotta say though, I have had a fried peach with powdered sugar on it, which was delicious, and a fried Oreos with like chocolate sauce and whipped cream, which were also delicious.
I feel like anything fried is delicious.
Well, maybe. I mean, I've heard people frying an entire stick of butter. Like that would be way too much. Just
does that come with a free defibrillator?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like an entire stick of butter in batter.
Butter dipped butter.
Butter dipped batter.
Ugh,
better butter batter.
I have had fried ice cream, and that is delicious.
Oh, it is delicious. Sorry, big major food tangent.
Yep.
It's a Redwall podcast.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I did not eat lunch. I was stupid.
So they also, I do love this bit where Tansy's she looks over at Torgoch. She's like, "Hey, don't steal us of our cellar keeper. October Ale is our recipe, so that you can take as many barrels as you want as you can carry."
And then Rockjock can't even pick up one, and he's like, "Oh, thanks, real helpful."
Yeah.
I haven't tried to believe that recipes would not be traded between the two senators here. Come on.
Hey, you gotta have some secrets.
Oh, it's Arvin. Oh yeah.
You guys can take Arvin,
Now then, you little rogue, what is this all about?
Is Arvin a robot now? Yeah, I am the Abbey Warrior 2000. Please insert sword.
What's that? Little Slowy fell down the well?
Baby, it's what's for dinner.
Yep. Apparently, Slowy fell down. She fell
down. Fell down
the floor. Thank you. She managed to hit in the washing waters below, and she's half conscious, but she managed to struggle that up and say, "Ooh, there's a big eel. Hi."
Yes,
hi,
and Arvin is useless. Like his reaction is, "Oh mercy, what will we do?"
It's like, dude, you're the climber. Why don't you climb down there? Nope, Skipper.
Yeah.
Skipper decides to show that he's the most awesome character in the book by going, okay, hang on. Here, Tamo, give me your dirk. I'm going to dive down like however many feet this is right into the water and start wrestling a pike. So Skipper is awesome.
Yep. And yeah, I have to admit that it's not here, but I would like to think that Tansy at one point looks over at Arvin like, really? Really? You have one job.
And then he just goes, "Oh, tansy, pansy, toogle do."
No, that's not
And then, so after Skipper dives in, Paragord and I think like one other character are like, oh, we should get down there. And Tamo goes, well, I'm quick and young. Don't worry, I can make it down there. And he immediately uses a rope to climb down. Meanwhile, Arvin's standing there picking like his nose hairs, being like, huh, what's going on?
Well, I'd like to think that he at least was doing crowd control of some sort.
Yeah, he's good at standing there like a stiff object for people not to go through. He's able to take up space really well.
But
No
yes.
pushing, please. I am Arvin.
I am. This is like in the second Avengers movie where all the robots drop down. They're like, please disperse. And so, yeah, Tamo gets down to Sloey and helps her go back up to the top and looks around, and Skipper and the eel or pike or whatever the heck it is are nowhere to be found.
Oh, and everyone rushes to like, oh, he's dead. Are we sure about that?
Yeah.
He's an otter who jumped into water.
Yep. That otter might drown. Really?
I mean, it could happen.
But then and Tamo stays down there for a while to check. But when he gets back up, he says that Skipper is nowhere to be found, and maybe it's Arvin or somebody says like, yeah, I saw the look in his eyes. He was on a mission.
Yeah, but he took my dirk with him. I wanted it back.
Tamo loses that weapon so many times
my
in this
God.
book.
What was his instruction his mom gave to him? Don't let anyone else take this from you.
Maybe that's why Martin decides to go to him later on. Because Martin's like, I know what it's like to lose a weapon that my parents gave to me too.
Yeah,
Aw.
like the only for Tamo bit of the message was like, "Hey, look, man, I get it.
Yeah. Hey, at least some wildcat didn't snap it in half. So
Yeah.
What's a wildcat? Never mind, kid.
But then we cut over to the Gaussum, who meet up with boat-dwelling hedgehogs, and they're all cool.
Yeah,
I like Gurgen Spearback.
they're the water hogs, they call themselves.
Yep. And I love how the two of them just chat, and they're like, yeah, Damog's off there with like 1,000 soldiers. We should probably do something about that. And they're like, yeah, but we have kids. Oh, we should get the kids over to Redwall Abbey. Then we can go fight this giant army. Yeah!
Genius. Oh, hi, Skipper.
I love the fact that they're just super, like, they don't care. They're like, well, there's 1,000 of them. But we'll be cool. We're awesome.
And then, okay, what is with the art on chapter 33?
That's Gurgen Spearback, dude.
That's a hedgehog? Oh.
That's Gurgen.
Yes.
It
Oh.
specifically says he has a pole and face paint.
Oh, I thought that was a shrew, and I'm like, wait, what?
Did
Never mind.
no, yeah.
Continue on.
you get something from Salamander Strawn?
Maybe.
And then
I mean-
they find like this outlet, and Gurgen goes, oh, there's a little water poking out of there. I'm gonna smash it with a stick and see what happens. Boom! Just water floods everywhere. Skipper explodes out covered in mud and is like wearing the pike and goes, hey guys, what's up? Yeah, I just killed a pike in brutal hand-to-hand combat, but I'm cool.
And I just have his image of, like, out of Spaceballs, where Skipper's like, oh, okay, guys, you rescued me. Thanks. Smoke if you got him.
Falls over.
Yeah.
Skipper went through there at ludicrous speed.
Yeah, he's definitely getting dragged back, because I would imagine he's very tired after
Yep.
that.
And he's also bitten up, and they immediately get to Redwall, and they were like, holy cow, you're alive! And he's like, didn't you take more than 5 minutes to look for me? Yes.
I love how he's like, hey, the next time that I disappear, please don't cancel the feast
Yeah.
or something like that.
Where's the hot root soup? And Tammo like goes up to him and goes, do you have my dirk? And he's like, yeah. This thing's awesome, by the way. Here you go.
I just want to rewind for a second. The description for Gurgen Spearback. The leader of the Water Hogs was a fearsome sight. Gurgen Spearback wore great floppy sea boots and an immense brass-buckled belt through which he had was thrust a hatchet and a scythe-bladed sword. He had long seagull feathers impaled on his head spikes, making him look a head bigger than he actually was. His face was painted white with scarlet polka dots daubed on. And it's like, Gurgen Spearback, in my mind, is the friendly animal version of the Joker. Therefore, if the Long Patrol ever gets adapted into anything, I want Mark Hamill to voice him.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. You want to know how I got these spots?
You painted them on. Oh. Yeah, they finally treat. You see Viola treating Skipper. Finally, he's like,
She was like,
I'm okay.
honored to heal your wounds.
Yeah, thanks. Ouch.
Yep.
I'll say it, albeit begrudgingly, that her character has improved, and her compliments to Skipper shows she has grown somewhat beyond her selfish outlook in life from Pearls.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we covered this last time. She's definitely not afraid to take power when she likes it, because she likes power. But no, she's good at her job. But she definitely, compared to Tansy, she takes herself a little bit more seriously.
Just because she's improved doesn't mean I have to like her.
That's fair. I'm not saying you do.
Good.
She's better than Pellet or whatever the heck his name was.
Well, anybody's
Yeah,
better than Pellet.
Yeah.
Sneezewort and Lousewort are better than Pellet.
Oh.
You're not wrong.
So meanwhile, Damog has totally executed all of those deserters.
Yeah, he tied
Ooh.
rocks to them and threw them in the river. So that's a thing.
I mean,
Yep.
all things considered, what he could have done to them, that's a pretty quick way to die.
True.
Not
I mean,
fun way, but
Uh-huh.
he didn't torture them to death, like Farrago would have done.
I was just about to say it's better than Farrago like skinning his people alive. So
Yeah.
I mean, look at it this way. At least they're not on fire.
Yeah. Definitely true on that.
And we then get another tough and older squirrel. Neat.
Is he even named yet?
Not yet.
I went
know
looking
he's-
for the name, but yeah.
I know his name pops up later.
Yeah.
In book 3, but yeah, Damag's like, tell me about the defenses that Redwall has, and he's like, I don't know, I don't live there. Don't lie to me. I'm not lying to you. I have ways of making you talk. I am talking to you. I don't know anything, dude.
And Damog was like, hey, you're telling the truth. No, really?
God, it's like, why would I have any reason to lie to you?
You have me in a cage, and you're thrusting a sword into my back.
Yep.
Why would I lie?
And I just watched you drown like 30 people. So like, yeah, I kind of get that you're evil, dude. I still don't know anything though.
I really admires his chutzpah, though. Just like, no, I know nothing. Please leave me alone.
Yeah. He's like, I could kill you. All right, do it. I'll
Yeah.
do it.
Put up or
Fine,
shut
go
up.
for it, man. Bring it.
This is like a better version of Packatug.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
But now Damog is now aware of Redwall because Wrinkle came home.
Yep.
Oh.
And Damog says to his rap marks, like, all right, we're 3 days, we're close. You better get everyone in line, or you're gonna wish I do to you what I did to them.
Boss, we're your officers. We get it. Can you
You're-
stop with pretending to threaten us?
We get it. You're evil. Meanwhile, back with
This
Goofy
is what I wanted to bring up. We're back with the mobile Long Patrol, and we have a series lore reference.
yeah.
On page 211, the Starbuck family is
Holy
referenced.
cow.
Yeah,
call back all the way to Mossflower.
indeed.
And Outcast, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
for
Mossflower
all
takes
5
place
minutes,
before.
but yes.
Outcast. Yeah, it's like that's pretty cool.
I love it when he remembers to throw these nuggets of like continuity in there, and then he also does the thing where Abbott Sax is just super old in Martin the Warrior, and then he gets young again in Filmmaker.
Point of order. Point of order. You made the page reference there, Pete.
Yeah.
In the trade paperback, it's page 188.
Yeah.
I'm basing this on the Kindle edition, so sorry.
I laugh at your Kindle edition.
Hey, it's cheap. It's cheaper and it doesn't take up extra space.
Paperback copy that came out in 1998, I think it was.
I only kept one of my originals.
Well,
Sue me.
whose fault is that?
My younger cousins who got addicted to the series and wanted all my books.
If I wanted people to get into the books, I would just get them a new copy. Like I said, I've had that copy of Martin the Warrior. That was the very first one I got way back in 1996.
Okay, well, if you're gonna pull this route, or any of your copies signed, or any of your copies signed,
No, but I still kept them, which means I care more about them than you do.
yeah, my
They're
copy
my
is,
babies.
So there.
Now,
Hey, Katie, you
children.
want-
I don't
popcorn?
hang on to things just because they're signed, because I'm a hoarder.
How's it going, Matthias?
Actually, more likely, I'm a pack rat.
I know.
Here's the popcorn.
We're both pretty. Let's move on.
Let's go get Matthias and I are gonna go get ice cream. We'll just let you guys continue this.
Mom, Dad, stop fighting.
Moving back to the plot. Yeah, we get more of the Hair Patrol are still doing their thing.
Yep, and Trowbags still hasn't learned.
No.
I think Trowbags is what Fleet Scut was like in his younger days.
Trowbags is probably going to grow out of it.
God. And when we see that Reeve Starbuck and Algador reach them, and Krega like just interrogates them. Go, what'd you find? Where'd you go? And
Wax Billy
Algador's like,
Web Sky and Twax.
It's Rapscallion season.
Yes.
And,
No,
yeah,
Horde Rat
Algador's
season.
like,
Rapscallion season.
Krega,
Horde Rat
they
season.
went- huh?
Rapscallion season. Horde Rat season. Rapscallion season. Horde Rat season.
Oh, I just see like Algador's like just wilting under Krega's stare. Yes, Miss Krega. They went that way, Miss Krega. Please don't eat me, Miss Krega.
And then she just charges off without waiting
Yeah.
for anyone. She's like, all right, I'm after him.
And Clubbrush just kind of was like, all right, fine. I got to do everything. And I do like, though, that even though he's tough on some of the recruits, aka Trowbags, he's also complimentary when the recruits do a good job. And he even has Algador and Reeve rest instead of just falling right back in line.
Indeed. And
Yeah.
like I gotta say, Krega is not a very good commander. Like she's head of the mountain, but she's not doing any organizing or planning or commanding. She just is filled with this killing rage.
Pretty much. Yeah, I
Mhm.
actually wrote in here, I said, this is the first time we've seen the Hares doubt the leadership skills of a Salamandastron Badger Lady or Lord. Like,
Mhm.
Earthstripe definitely went like a little nutty at the end of Salamandastron, where he's like, you know what? Forget strategy. I'm just going to walk out there in full armor and kill this guy.
And
Granted,
there was
I
a point
mean-
Sunflash, walked away from his very capable army to take on Swart on his own,
Mhm.
but
Those were at least those were moments of like Earthstripe was pushed to his breaking point, and Sunflash was like otherwise a calm thinker. He was just in the midst of battle at Bloodwrath. Meanwhile, Clubbrush and Elbert, like on a good day, it sounds like Craig is going to start throwing things, and Clubbrush and Elbrig are like, we're following her to certain doom. We're just going to focus on making sure most of these recruits don't die.
Yeah, seeing Krega's determination to kill every last Rapscallion leaves me kind of sorry for the Long Patrol, as they have no reasonable choice but to follow a bloodthirsty badger into battle.
Yep.
Yes.
They're fine with battle, but I get the sense that it's like the dad who roughly shoves their kid into the pool when they hesitate too long. The kid still loves dad, but doesn't appreciate the shove.
Yeah, like I mean, even Ron Blade, who went off and murdered an entire ship worth of sea rats, at least he did that on his own. Like, he just sent everyone off and didn't put anyone else in danger. Like, he was just like, okay, this is my fight. This is my thing. I'm going to go do this. I'm not going to take a bunch of green recruits with me.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even Stonepaw sacrificed himself rather than put the greater party at common hairs at danger.
Yeah. Or Brocktree going like, okay, I'm going to take on Ungat one-on-one, but I'm going to do it in a more planned method instead of just walking out on the beach and going, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? On the plus side, Trowbags finally gets to do something worthwhile and good, where Shangle trips and he immediately goes to Shangle's aid, and he and Fergal help him out. And Clubbrush immediately goes like, "Hey, good job! You know, you did something good."
Yeah, I just have this. I don't know if it's unreasonable, but I just have so much affection for Trowbags, and I'm not sure why. Just like, oh, this little cinnamon roll.
We also get a Moaning Green Recruit song, which is like,
Yes.
wait, what? Why the heck am I out here? I don't want to be here.
Yep. And yeah, Krega off on her, and they reach like the site that they were supposed to meet Krega, and surprise, surprise, she's not there.
She'll be
And
fine, guys.
Clubbrush
Right?
and Elbrig are like, we're not getting paid enough for this.
Yeah, like we are sleeping here.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for this. Yeah, so then the next chapter, my immediate note for chapter 35 was, it'd be nice to see why Arvin is the Abbey Warrior, because he's done exactly nothing in this book so far to show it.
Right.
He's leading this Council of War, and more like presiding.
Yeah. He's standing there, and I think I said it earlier, he's taking up some space.
We also get, and spoilers for this chapter, but chapter 35 has Tamo sleepwalking.
Yep. Well, we don't know it's Tamo yet.
No.
We just know it's a hare.
We've mentioned he's the one who gets contacted.
This is true.
So.
This is
Yeah.
true. Yep. Which I do
mean-
have to say, there's actually a more important moment in this chapter where it says that Tamo isn't feeling hungry. I think that's a sign of the apocalypse.
Gasp in horror.
Yep. And
Well, the first thing that happens is that Logolog and what's his name?
Gurgen.
Thank you, Gurgen. They're like, hey, we probably know where this water's coming in that's rushing underneath the Abbey. We're going to go ahead and take a crew and dam that.
Yep.
So to keep it from happening again. Like, yeah, that's a sensible plan. Go ahead and do it.
Yep. And they start having a council of war talking about it. And Paragord is awesome, saying like, all right, look. And he's trying to reassure people too, like, yeah, there's 1,000 out there. There were more when they attacked Salamandastron. Now, I know we were better set up to fight them at Salamandastron, but don't worry, I know what to do. And then Pellet, being a complete jerk, is like, well, what are we supposed to do? They're going to attack and kill us. Meh.
Someone hit him.
Pellet or me?
Pellet.
Okay, yeah, somebody should. They're like, Pellet, congratulations, you've been promoted. Really? Yeah, you're now the human shield.
Hey!
But he's not human. He's a dormouse.
He'll be a doorstop.
Yes.
But Paragord takes it in stride too. Where the best part is that Arvin and Tansy like give Pellet the death glare after he does that.
No, Tansy outright calls them out. It's like, what were you proposes to do?
And he's like, "Oh, I don't know."
Then
Yeah,
shut
that's
up.
what I thought. Yeah, and he even wilts more because Arvin finally does something, and it's glare at Pellet. So you know what? Thank you, Arvin. You made Pellet shut up.
I mean, he finally did something, but after Arvin's repeated failure to be useful in remembering prophetic advice, Martin has to resort to using a long patrol hair to get the point across.
And this is where I kind of wondering what, because we've seen Martin speak to. Rarely do we see him outright possess someone. Tamo falls asleep, but Martin kind of it possesses him, and I'm thinking Martin to himself like, okay, oh my god, this first time I've ever possessed a hare. My god, why am I so hungry? But yes, Martin has him sleepwalk all the way to the tapestry.
Yeah. This is the first. I can't remember. Did Martin pop up anywhere earlier in the book?
He
Book 1
had
and
he sent a dream to Arvin.
Okay.
who promptly forgot it.
Yep.
Good job, Arvin. Granted, I forgot it too, but at least I'm not the happy warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first big appearance from Martin then. Like, he usually pops up a lot earlier in the book. When he does, at least. Like, obviously, well, actually, because Mariel of Redwall, he popped up pretty early and then just disappeared for the rest of it. And at the end, he's like, by the way, I'm going to show up from time to time to help you guys out.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Outcast of Redwall, he barely showed up. Now I'm thinking about it.
Well, we get clearly Gomph wrote this because it's rhyming poetry. But Martin gives his speech of spring is done now, summer calls. This season fraught with wartime fear. Fate says Domag will never see our walls. Battle must take place, though not here. Many coats will know the way, so go with him to Formalo. A soothsayer know what to say. Secrets Warfang longs to know. One day a Redwall a badger will see, but the badger may never see Redwall. Darkness will set the warrior free. The young must answer as a mountain call. And oh, by the way, give my sword to someone more worthy. I'm tired of watching him blunder along. Thanks, Martin.
Wow. Can you guys do something with my sword? It's been sitting in a holder for the last 10 seasons. Oh, wait, that's Arvin.
Wait, there's a difference?
Oh, we're really mean.
Why'd you guys put my sword in a dresser? Oh, wait, I forgot. Arvin's just that wooden.
Oh, come on.
See,
Let's
I mean, okay, we're really mean to Arvin, but Jakes isn't very nice to him either. Like, in this book, he does nothing.
He does literally nothing. I don't even remember him doing anything in the final battle of the book, honestly.
Then Tama wakes back up and he's like, "Huh? What did I say? Why do I have an irrational hatred of stoats and wildcats?"
Why am I suddenly want to hang my dirk from around my neck?
Why do I have a vision of this rose, this red rose?
I suddenly want a bunch of roses. I don't know why. Specifically late ones.
Something about feeding a mouse thief? Huh.
And I want to go on a journey with a mouse and a mole. I have to go visit the ocean.
I do want to go to Salamandastron even more now, so that doesn't seem too out of place. Yeah, but yeah, then we have the Hares having their council with, I think Arvin's there. I legit can't remember.
Basically, they look at Midge Manycoats, who is referencing the poem. He's like, "Aha, spy time now." Yes. Hey, Tamo.
It's time to shine.
Hey, Tamo, you want to try this disguise kit with me?
Do I?
And yeah, he does.
Yep. And Paragord goes, yeah, no, that sounds good. You guys go do that. Rockjaw, be their bodyguard, please. And then he assigns Morio and Torgoch to find another location for the battle against Downmug.
Yep.
And again, Paragord is awesome.
I mean, there is no tactical sense in using the Abbey itself for a defensive point because Dema could just come through the southern wall and it's all over.
Yep. And that's it for book 2.
Yeah, it is. And as we've already mentioned, like with book 1, this is a very well-paced and very well-written book. I really still like this.
Yep. This part I felt moved pretty quickly, but it has really good moments and it takes its time to stop at those moments. Like Rusa's death feels like it happened a while ago, but it was still like a really well done moment.
Mm-hmm.
And we get some cool spot, like the introductions for the characters are great in this. Like Logalog is fantastic. I love this Logalog. I love this Skipper. This one has been really good so far, and I like seeing the young recruits differently than we've seen young characters in previous books. Like it makes you look back at like Martin the Warrior and Mossflower, realizing that Martin had to grow up really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Now, since I wasn't here for part 1, I guess this is kind of like book 1 and 2 plus kind of my memories of 3 all kind of wrapping together into one. Looking at the publication order for the books, the last 3 books before this one were Bellmaker, Outcast, and Pearls.
Yeah.
And it feels like Long Patrol is where Brian Jakes is finally hitting his stride in terms of storytelling. There's this nice balance between the Vermin story, the Hare story, and the Abby storylines. And then they kind of merge together into one homogeneous piece. Kind of like that ice cream where it's one stripe of chocolate, one stripe of vanilla, one stripe of strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, you can scoop out it out in different proportions and have just one or a little bit of two or even all 3 together. But it all works together and it's balanced. And I think this is where his writing goes from being just I'm writing another book in this setting to I am writing in what I have established as my formula now. I have mastered how I want to write these stories moving forward. And it seems to me that if you were to split up his books into kind of his early writings, his middle, like I've really found my confidence footing, and then the late stage books that were like, well, they're different. This is the golden age. This is the filling that everybody remembers when they bite into it. It's just the beginning stuff was a little rough, but this is what people were really hoping for. This is what I was hoping for out of the series.
Yep, I like how everything's just building. Like the conflicts are all building at a really good pace that doesn't feel like he's rushing really anything.
Definitely not.
And you can also see like how much this book is building towards that final section, because book 2 is actually kind of short. It's not even 100 pages.
Its chapter count, it's only 15.
16.
Excuse me. Compared to what book 3 will take us through, which is, what, 20? No, 36 to 55. Brain hurts. I don't know.
19, I think. Maybe 20.
It just, looking at this last section, it looks like there's going to be a lot more to cover. So, we shall see. So, before we can get into where you can find us, we always talk about, hey, leaving us a review on iTunes would really make us happy. Well, we got our second review, and that's awesome. So, this review comes from Nadaz, voice of the host, and I'm really glad he got to do something after his cult fell apart. So,
Yep.
You know.
Good for him.
Yep. Quote, this podcast never fails to make me laugh for 2 hours straight, a million times better than being attacked by badgers. Does Nadaz have personal experience with that last bit? Again, Nadaz, thank you so much for giving us a positive review. We really appreciate it.
Yay, people still like us.
Thank you.
So for the record, Recorder on the Wall, better than being attacked by a badger with an axe.
You'd think so.
Thank you, Nadaz. We definitely appreciate it.
Indeed.
So, Jeremy, you want to tell people where they can find us, or should I do it?
I can do it. You can find us at recorderonthewall.com. We are on iTunes and Google Play Podcasts. We are also active on we are featured or active or however it is on the Redwall forums, on the Eulelia subreddit. We have a Twitter account, which is at ROTWpod. We also are on Spotify. I didn't forget that one. And we have an email address, which is rotwpod@gmail.com. Please feel free to send us emails with feedback or any little ideas you might have so we can have material after we're done with the next. I actually counted yesterday. We have 10 more books after this, so that's at least 30 more episodes.
Oh, and one season of the cartoon.
Yeah, well, that's why I said at least 30 more episodes.
Yeah.
And so that's another 3 from that cartoon, plus the 2 more Castaways of the Flying Dutchman book, so we got a lot of material.
Well, one of those books still out there we have yet to do has 4 books internally, not 3.
Yes.
So that'll be 4 episodes.
Hmm?
And then we'll
Wait,
have
which
our.
one has 4 books in it?
I don't
Sable
remember.
Queen.
Thank you.
Oh, I haven't. Okay, I have not read that one, so I didn't know. Okay, wow.
And then we're gonna have, of course, in April. Yeah, you guys know what we do in April now. We'll have our fan fiction 3 episode. I am hoping. I'm keep trying to communication with them. We're gonna try and get our other sibling podcast, The Red Wall, on. Hopefully, we can hook up with them. But we shall see.
Yep, and maybe my computer won't crud itself and die like it did last year.
I'm considering writing fan fiction this year. We'll see if the Court of Appeals will actually let me do that instead of piling transcripts on me.
All right. As always, I'm Pete, your Pop Abbott. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm Jeremy, and I live. And these other 2 people that have decided not to mention themselves.
I thought Matthias was going first.
Go ahead, Matthias.
We're out politing each other. I'm Matthias. Okay, Katie, go.
I'm Katie, and I'm a Hufflepuff.
About the life.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Lost Flower brethren.